Good afternoon. We'll continue with Economics A level, Business Objectives, Chapter 3. So today we want to conclude Chapter 3 on behavioral theories and divorce of ownership and control. So we're going to start with behavioral theories, satisficing. When we talk about satisficing, simply it's about profit satisficing. And for profit satisficing, it means the managers and the directors of the business are able to make enough money, enough profit that makes shareholders to be happy. It is not profit maximization, but profit satisficing. Making enough profit that allows or that makes the owners of the business to be happy. That is what profit satisficing is. So we read anyway. Behavioral theories, satisficing. Profit satisficing as an objective happens when the ownership of a business is separate from the control. This is what we call divorce of ownership or control. The owners are likely to want to maximize profit, but the managers and workers may not want this. The owners of the business, like we said earlier, the owners of the business, their aims and objective is to maximize profit. But this might not be the same. The owners, the directors and the managers might not share the same objective with the owners of the business. What could be their own aim? What could be their own objectives? I meant the managers and directors. What will they aim at? And why do we have conflicting objectives? So we go on. The owners are likely to want to maximize profit, but managers and workers may not want this. The running of a firm is delegated to the managers and workers. So why are they involved? They are involved because the owners of the business have delegated authority to them to act on their behalf. The owners will employ managers to run the firm and expect them to maximize profit. Yes, this is strictly the aims and objective of the owners of business. They want to maximize profits, and that is why they employ managers. They employ managers or directors to ensure that profit is maximized, leading to payment of maximum dividends, because as soon as profit is maximized, dividends will also increase. However, the owners will not have all the information about the manager's efforts and actions. So, because they have delegated authority, the managers and directors are the one in charge. They take charge of the operations. Therefore, owners of the business will not have full information about what happens within the firm. The managers know this, and they may do a good enough job to make sufficient profits to satisfy the owners and keep them happy with the job they are doing. The directors and the managers are already aware that some information are missing, some information are not clear to the owners of the business. So what they do is they take advantage of that by ensuring that they make enough profit that will make them to be happy. The owners will not be aware that the maximum profit is not being achieved. They won't be aware, because if they are aware, then they will question the profit being made. But they won't be aware. That is why it is profit satisficing. Their lack of awareness makes them to believe that the profit the firm has made is the highest possible profit that is there to make. Meanwhile, the managers and the directors are not making the highest profits to be made. According to behavioral theory, that's where behavioral theory comes in. According to behavioral theory, the firm does not aim to maximize profit, but rather to achieve a certain minimum or target level of profit. Its aspiration level is based on different goals, such as production, price, sales, profit, and so on, and on the firm's past experience. So for directors and managers, they understand how things work. They are the one in charge. So they will ensure that whatever it takes them to make sure that the business is still in operation, they will get it done. If it's about production, if it's about price, if it's about profit, they will ensure they are done at the detriment of profit maximization. So owners of the business will be thinking about profit maximization, but the directors and the managers have other objectives, such as increasing sales, such as increasing revenue, such as expansion. So all these things are not going to be known to the owners of the business. As a result, they will only make sure that they are making profit that the owners of the business will be happy to see or to hear about. Behavioral economics takes into account the many different factors that motivate people at work. Profit and bonuses are one of the factors, but a sense of achievement, recognition, responsibility, and being part of a creative process can also be important. Owners of the business want profit maximization, but for sometimes, when they think about profit maximization, what about those that carry out the job? The workers, they need to be motivated, and the managers and directors, they know this. They know that workers need to be motivated, and for them to be motivated, they might have to, it becomes an opportunity cost for them. They might have to reduce profit maximization to be able to give huge rewards or increasing the reward or improvement in rewards to employees. That is why we have conflicting objectives. Therefore, managers will try to do the best job they can because they get more satisfaction from this and as a result maximize profit. If managers are able, they will put every effort into it to ensure that workers are happy, because if workers are happy, they become more productive and efficient, and as a result, productivity will increase in the firm and profit maximization might be able to be achieved. But they will always put it in mind, they will always take into consideration or account employees' rewards, their own rewards, before thinking about profit maximization. However, managers may be tempted by different goals, such as working for a fast-growing firm, and as a result, they might take risks the owners don't really want. Owners of the business want profit maximization. They want to make as much profit as possible in the industry as a firm. But managers and directors, they have different rules. They have different roles to play. They think about their own reputation. They might, as a result of that, they might take risk that the owners of the business, if they heard about it, would discourage it. But the owners are lacking information. As a result, they don't know. So managers of the business, they have information that are good enough for them to think about the profitability of the firm, to think about profit maximization of the firm, to think about profit satisficing. But for them, what they do is to ensure that managers and directors will ensure that owners of the business are able to make enough profit that will make them happy. That is about behavioral and satisficing. Now we go to divorce of ownership from control. For divorce of ownership from control, it simply means that employees, workers, managers, directors are being appointed by the owners of the business. So the owners of the business have separated themselves from the business. As a result, they delegate it to directors and managers to take charge. So let's read anyway. In small firms, the owner or owners are likely to work in the firm. For a small firm or a medium-sized business, there's likelihood that the owners of the business work in the business. Why? Because a small firm or a medium-sized firm might not have the financial capability to employ experts like directors and managers. As a result, they might have to do the job themselves. However, in large businesses, owners are likely to appoint directors and managers to run the firm on their behalf. But for a large firm that is listed in the stock exchange, a public limited company or a private limited company, they have the financial capability to employ managers and directors. They can appoint directors and managers to run the business on their behalf. Most large firms are listed companies. I said that earlier, they sell shares to the public. However, the older the company, the more likely it is that the original founders will have sold most or all of their shares. Shareholdings are then likely to be split across many different people and organizations, with the largest shareholder holding no more than 10% of the shares. For a public limited company, the longer it becomes, the likelihood that the shares are distributed among a lot of people. So that means the founding members, the owners, the original members of those companies might be having little shares as holding. So the owners of a large firm are likely to want to maximize the returns on their investment in the company in the form of dividends. Short-term profit maximization is likely to achieve this. For the owners of the business, now that they have invested more into the business, they want huge return on their investment. As a result, they will be thinking about profit maximization. And to maximize profit, they might be thinking about short-term profit maximization. And when we talk about short-term profit maximization, they want to ensure that the price they are selling their product is more than the average variable cost. That means the price is slightly above the average variable cost of production. That is what short-term profit maximization is. And if this is done, it would also increase their dividends in the future. However, it is far from obvious that the directors and managers will share this objective. So, the directors and managers have a different objective to that of the owners of the business. As a result, there is conflicting interest. So this conflicting interest is what we call divorce of ownership from control. As employees of the company, neoclassical economic theory would predict that they would attempt to maximize their own rewards. So for employees and managers, they would rather want to maximize their rewards. What are the rewards for employees and managers? Fringe benefits, the use of company cars, bonuses, commissions. These are what they would really want to maximize based on their efforts rather than maximizing profits. This will include their own pay, which I just said, bonuses, free benefits such as pension entitlements, company cars, and free private medical care are important too, so as less tangible rewards such as power or the ability to distribute resources. So for owners of the business, there is divorce of ownership and control. Why? Because the directors are appointed to ensure that the business is expanding, to ensure that the performance of the business grows, and this might be at the detriment of profit maximization. But the owners now are separated from the business. As a result, they don't have much say on the running of the business. They might be thinking about profit maximization, but the directors and the managers might be thinking about something else: increasing production, increasing revenue, expansion. This might improving welfare condition of employees. This might be their own target, because if these things are done, they might be able to maximize profit. But they won't think about profit maximization first ahead of the other objectives, which are, like I said earlier, increasing production, increasing sales, improving employees' welfare. They will put this ahead of profit maximization, and this might not go well with owners of the business. So, divorce of ownership and control leads to profit satisficing, which is what we call behavioral theories. So for profit satisficing, directors and managers know that they have to make profit. That is why they have been appointed. But what they do is they ensure that they make profit that is good enough to make their shareholders or their bosses, the owners of the business, to be happy. That is what they do. That is what we call profit satisficing. And why is this possible for managers and directors to do? It is possible for them to do because there's what we call divorce of ownership. So this ends chapter 3 on business objective. Our next topic will be on revenue, which is chapter 4. Thank you.